Hi guys, so we're here in Berlin on what is supposedly the hottest day in the UK. It's finally stopped raining there, so of course it's raining over here. But anyway, forget the rain, the wipers are going because the cars are so clever now, it knows that it's raining. We are here with Genesis, and what are we doing? We're looking at the latest models and the latest tech that the car manufacturer is offering us. Now this amazing lime green GV60 is model 23, and there's something interesting on that which I'll come to in a minute. But before I get to that, I want to tell you about some of the other technology that's now available on the cars. And we have things like quick charging, an 800 volt system, which means that you can go from 10 to 80% in as little as 18 minutes on some of the cars, depending of course on where you plug it in and where you're charging. So that's one of the things. The other thing that they're looking at, and this is part of the stuff that they're bringing online and introducing, so they're experimenting in Korea, for example, with wireless charging pads under the car, so you can install those at home. And in America, they've got the smart home, which of course uses a lot of the electricity, how it generates it, where it goes, where it gets purposed or repurposed. And in this case, they've got V2L, and V2L is vehicle to load. And what that basically means is that rather than all the electricity from your house going into your car, it's actually can go back from the car into the house. Why do you think that would be useful? Well, actually it would be, because for example, say you have different tariffs or different rates throughout the day, and when the electricity is more expensive during the middle of the day or early afternoon or whatever, you could turn the vehicle, which is parked outside, into your electricity generator and channel that power back into your home, save yourself a bit of money. And of course, in countries where you get power outages, it's also another thing that could be quite beneficial. Battery preconditioning, and this is an element of this, is the fact that when you charge a battery, the optimum charging temperatures are about from 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. So for example, in a cold environment, you could preheat the battery up to make sure that it charges more efficiently. So that's one of the things they're looking at. The satellite navigation has also become more clever, and they have got things like smart routing. And the smart routing, what that does is that it basically looks at the best route to get to where you want to go to. It looks at where the charging points are. It works to reduce the range anxiety and the worry about charging, but also you can key in preferences about which charging points you want to use, what charging speeds you need, or if you have subscriptions with particular chargers that you want to use or a charging network that you want to use, then you can highlight those ones. It also has, and talking of which, in fact, it's also actually, before I get into that, it's also got another thing which is fascinating. It's called state of charge. Now, state of charge is very interesting because sometimes you'll find that you've charged up the car to get to your aunt's house or your father-in-law's or mother-in-law's place or whatever, but then you don't have enough charge to get back. So what you can actually do is tell the sat-nav is that I want to make sure that I've got 20% or 30% or 40% or whatever makes you comfortable charge left when I get there, and it will work it out automatically so that that's what you have, so you know that you can at least get back to the nearest charger. So I'm going back to the charging partners. They've now got plug and charge with Shell. And as you can see, there's a load of exercises going on behind me. Pretty dramatic stuff, hey? So they've got plug and charge with Shell, which basically means that you can just basically plug in the car. You don't have to worry about cards or numbers or anything like that. It will recognize the car, it'll recognize that, and it will just bill you automatically. Just keep an eye on your bills, that's the only thing. The other big thing about these cars is that we now have, a bit like these things, we now have face recognition and fingerprint recognition as well. So for example, with these cars, what you can do is you can configure it to your face. You have to set it up. There's a camera on the B pillar, and once you activate it, that camera basically will recognize your face. So as you walk up to the car, it will unlock the car because it recognizes who you are, as long as you're not wearing dark glasses. We found that caught it out once or twice. And then once you're in the car, how do you start it? Well, there's a little fingerprint touchpad just ahead of in the center console at the front, and you touch that, and that basically unlocks it. And it's at that point you can press the starter button and you're good to go. So that's pretty much, if you're used to a smartphone or iPhone, then you're pretty much used to that sort of technology. The final thing I want to talk about in terms of tech is on this car, which I haven't tried yet, they now apparently have a virtual gear shift. What does that mean? That means that the paddles, which normally on an EV operate the regen system, so how much regen you get. And if you understand that, that basically means how much energy you can recoup from braking and slowing to recharge the batteries. But in this particular case, you use it for that, or you can turn on the virtual gear shift mode, and basically they operate as paddle shifts. So in that instance, you're basically having a simulated gear change in the car to make you feel like you're driving a traditional car with a traditional gear shift. Don't forget, these cars normally just just have one speed in them because that's all they really need. So I haven't tried that yet. One of the things, some of the other stuff that we haven't tried yet, but we're going to do today is that we're going to be trying to get this thing sideways on a skid pan over there. So basically it's got drift mode, but we're going to see if that is possible to use on a very slippery surface, which is what we've got over there. We're going to be taking the G80 onto, basically we're going to use the boost button to drag race it, and then to slalom it, and then to do a braking and avoidance test. And then we're going to take the GB70 and try some trailer pulling with it as well. So this is what we're doing today. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, guys.
Brown car guy. A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So we're in a 2023 GV60, full of tech, including basically like the phone. It's got face recognition and fingerprint recognition. Okay, so we're going into the settings. We're going to hit user profile. This is to make the fingerprint fitting, right? So that's this one here, the fingerprint identification.
And
Right.
the password,
Enter the password.
we use 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Don't tell anyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the secret password, right? Set password. Oh, set fingerprint, right? Consent.
And now you take a finger.
Ah, okay. So here we have a button that looks like the sort of button you might get on an iPhone or on a laptop. So we just put that on there. Ah, okay, right. So you have to move your finger around.
Not moving, so keep it
All right.
it's about 100.
Until you get 100%.
Yeah.
Right. Got it. So you keep moving it so that it gets a good pattern for your fingerprint. Fingerprint has been set. Okay. Ah, facial recognition. Right.
Can,
Cool.
keep that set.
Right, okay. Right, facial recognition, enter the password, which is the top secret, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so set. Okay, consent, because it's going to record your features, so you have
Please
to...
step out of the vehicle
Ah,
and
okay.
look straight into the camera.
So,
Where-
camera's
so where's
in
the camera?
In the B pillar.
The camera is in the B pillar.
And it's,
Oh, this is the camera here, and you can see it's doing something. So I look straight into the camera. It's gone green.
Facial recognition activated.
perfect. So. Right, now I got the key. This is the key.
Yeah.
So, and I take it. So
Right.
we can
We're turning it off, okay.
we can get off. We
Right.
get out the car.
We'll get out of the car. Let's see if this works.
So
Right.
you were tipping on the finger on the door handle in the middle, and now it closes.
Is it
No,
locked?
yeah.
Oh, doesn't want to lock.
So
Oh.
you have to stand
Lock.
in front of the car. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right, it's locked. Right.
So that.
Right.
So and then I have the key.
You got the key. He's gone like meters away from the car, so it's not the key that's now working. He's way over there. That's the guy with the key now. So now we can see that there's the camera. So I'm basically going to walk towards the car.
So I'm tipping on. Yeah. Oh, so tipping on the door handle in the middle.
Oh, I have to. Oh, I see. If you press the button, then the camera comes on. It didn't like that. I don't think it liked that. Okay, let me try it again.
Okay.
See, I've broken the system already. Ah!
So now.
It's gone green and the handle came out. Basically, it went green and the handle came out. Now the car unlocks. So it works. If I get in, I should now be able to just put my finger right foot on the brake and then press that.
And now you can
Where's the start?
start.
Oh, I see. So the key, the fingerprint thing is not to start it, it's to unlock it. And now then I press the starter button and it starts and we're ready to go. So there you go. This is how you get in and drive your car now.
Brown car guy.
Sport mode is already activated.
Okay.
Then you hit the ESP button on the left. From
Where's
the,
the ESP button?
On the actual dash under the vent there. See,
right,
on the right
for
hand
more than
side.
3 seconds and it's completely off.
Is that off now?
Now
Ah, right.
it's
Okay,
off.
yeah.
And now you hold both pedals on the steering wheel for
Yeah.
3 seconds.
Both of them.
Both of them. Now the drift mode is activated.
Drift mode, actually, that's how you do it.
Boom.
There's a secret sauce right there. Okay. Drive mode?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay, let's see.
And just drive slow few
Yeah.
laps to get used to it. And if you feel comfortable, you can hit the throttle a little bit.
Goes around straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the response is quite instant. I mean, it's actually quite adjustable on the throttle, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't even quickly, and yet it still went around.
Beautifully
so,
adjustable.
Yeah.
The problem with the EV is there's no gear ratio.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Once you hit the throttle, the rear
Yeah.
wheels are going 230.
It's because you can't feel what you're doing, because normally when you do these, you have a sense of.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a sense of movement, you got a sense of the dynamics.
Yeah.
But when you let go, when it lets go,
It's gone, yeah. Grip it on the front axle again, and then. No.
yeah, because. There's a lot going on the electronics here, isn't there?
Aha!
Try as hard as you can to catch it, but you can't catch it. It's
Oh my
incredible.
goodness.
Yeah. I'll give it one more go to see if I can catch this, but
It's really, really hard.
it's very hard to catch it, yeah. Well, it's a 360 right there for you.
That was a nice finish for the cameraman. Yeah.
That's it.
I think we'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think we're done.
You can drive on the left back to the pit.
Try and hold on to some of our lunch at least.
Please press the ESP button that the drift mode is
Right,
off
so
and
turn
the
everything
ESP
back on again. Yeah, so that's
perfect.
it. So just press the yes and everything comes back on again. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Right, so tell me this, have you tried the drift mode in the dry weather?
Yes,
And are you able to control the drift then?
very easy.
Right, okay.
If you got grip on this car, it's very
Yeah.
easy because the front axle is working properly.
Right.
On the sliding surface.
So the
there's-
situation at the moment is because it's a purely sliding surface,
Yeah.
because it's a wet surface, that's why it's so difficult to do.
When you want, you can walk over there and you can feel the
Right,
tarmac. It's
right,
nearly
right.
ice.
Right, I see, gotcha.
Brown car guy.
So we're in boost mode and we're just going to do an acceleration run and some slalom and stuff. What car is this? We're in the
GV70.
GV70. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, just a little bit of slippage, a little bit of movement,
And
but
braking.
wow.
And to the left side.
There you go.
Directing this.
Are you all right back
Did
there?
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see my serene
Yeah.
face in the background.
The emphasis on serene. Yeah. But the acceleration, the electric acceleration is just absolutely bonkers on these things. You know, the force of the acceleration is what shocks you, right? It's just like, what?
Definitely.
Now we're going into a braking avoidance exercise.
Correct.
So remind me again what we're doing here?
Yeah, we're gonna start with 70 kph.
Mhm.
In the beginning of the line will be 2 blue cones.
Yeah.
Which is our braking point.
Yeah.
We smash the brake.
Okay.
And if necessary, if you're braking very late, you have to avoid while you are braking.
Right,
Okay. We
okay.
do it up to the standstill, and then we go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right, well, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So we're doing about 70 now. I'll brake too early there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's natural human instinct, survival instinct kicks in. You just go, okay.
Well,
But yeah, I
what we-
did brake too early there. But yeah, but it was very, very stable on that maneuver.
Yeah, and what we feel is that,
Yeah.
that the brakes are really good at abiding, and yeah, it works very well.
There you go. And just to keep in mind that it is very wet right now, and so you know we're doing this in wet weather, slippery conditions, and yeah, you know you can be rest assured that the car is going to look after you as long as you let the systems do what they're meant to do.
Brown car guy.
Here we're pulling a trailer with horses in it.
Yeah.
Simulated horses.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So right,
Real horses.
real horses, real simulated.
You know my
horses.
name in German is Horst.
Yeah. Your name is Horse?
Horst, yeah.
There you go.
Pulling a
I'm
horse
sorry,
with
yeah.
horse.
I'm with yes, I'm
Oh,
pulling
that's
horses
too
with
good.
horse
That's
in a
too
Genesis.
good.
There you go.
Too good.
Okay, here we click
Too
onto
good.
D like drive.
Right.
So 10 meters beyond the cones here.
Okay, let's move
And
ahead
then
a
we
little bit.
drive and click back the ESP. You can find the button on the left there. So
Yeah, got it.
I think for the beginning is better. So.
Why is the indicator
Yeah,
on?
I don't know.
Why are you indicating that, you know?
I
Seriously.
don't know. A little bit more forward.
Good road manners.
Okay, so
That's it?
now I can
Yeah.
click the booster.
Yeah, boost button.
Yeah,
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, fire.
Oh, do that again. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, fire. So you feel that
Yeah.
the ESP is regulating the
Yeah.
car. So and slow down. So,
Yeah. That's pretty cool. You can see, you can feel it wriggling, but you can keep it under control.
That's
So
it
that's
is.
pretty cool. Yeah.
And now turn around the car here.
Yeah.
Complete hard to the left. Oh, could
I
be
don't,
narrow.
think, I don't think it'll do it. I don't think it'll do
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. A
You
little
got
bit
it.
off-roading.
Yeah,
There we go. We did
that's
some
SUV.
off-roading there.
That's
Check you in your SUV.
So and
Check
now
you
you
out.
keep up the speed on to third. That's cool. 3, 2, 1.
There you go.
So now.
That's a very, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Passenger alert.
Sorry about
I don't know if the horses are vomiting or the passenger. One of the
Oxygen
the
mask
horse.
comes out. The horse. Okay. So turn
Ed
around the
is
car
dead.
down.
The horses are now in the boot.
Yeah, yeah.
You killed Mr. Ed.
Oh dear. Poor Mr. Ed. Yeah.
Stop him here, so okay. And then click off the ESP.
So it's press and hold, isn't it?
Oh, it's off.
It's off, okay.
Yeah, okay. And it's important that in the moment when you feel that you got wheel spin on the tires, then release the accelerator. If it's necessary, use the brakes, okay?
Right, right.
Click the booster.
Boost.
3, 2, 1, fire. And release and brakes. And on the brakes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
No traction at
No,
all there.
no,
It's
no.
literally just, you know.
You can click back the ESP.
Was it all 4 wheels spinning?
Yes.
There was all 4
course,
wheels
all
were
4
spinning.
wheels,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's what I
no
felt.
limit.
Yeah.
Brown car guy.
So we're in the new model 2023 GB60. I'm here with Massimo. Say hi.
Hi.
And we've just been trying all the exercises that you've seen on the skid pans and with the trailers and all the rest of it. And one of the interesting things about this car is that they've now, as I was saying earlier, they've introduced a virtual gear shift. And along with the virtual gear shift, there's a virtual engine noise. Can you hear that? There's an actual, in fact, let me just do this for a minute. I'm just going to stop. There's nobody behind us. So I'm just going to stop. You can, I don't know if you can make that out. It might be hard to make it out, but I'm just going to put it in neutral and hold it on the brake. And that's me revving. That's weird, isn't it? What would you say that sounds like? It sounds like something out of a Halloween movie.
An animal dying.
So that's what the artificial noise on the thing sounds like, and this is not a review of the car. If you want to see a review of the car, I've already done that previously. Okay, it was a 2022 model year, but you know the differences are basically what I'm talking about. Go find that on youtube.com/browncarguy or just search for it on browncarguy.com. The objective here was to just show you that simulated sound, and you have to go into where is it? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Where is vehicle?
I think it was settings first.
Oh, settings, right. Setting, God, thank you.
You're
Settings, vehicle, and then driver mode. And then there you go. So VGS, virtual gear shift. And now you can hear it. Now you can hear it. And just to prove that, again, just hold it. There you go. So we go back to home and go back to map. Hopefully that will tell us where we're going. Yes, it does. And so the only thing I want to do now, once we get out of here a little bit, is try the virtual gear changes. Actually, we can try them. Let's see if there's any. Oh yes. So there's a little indication on the screen here. Where are you facing? There, you're fine. Well, there's a little indication on the screen here.
100 meters.
And just like in a normal paddle shift, the right one to change up, left one to change down, and you can actually see that. I wonder how many gears it goes up to. We'll find out in a minute. But at the moment we're in third gear, and you can literally, it is simulating that, both in terms of the noise, but also until you felt that, right? When it changed gear, you can definitely feel that, the whole process, or the sense of it changing gear. Don't forget, this doesn't really have gears, but it's an EV. But I guess what's happening now is we're going full circle, aren't we? Where we're trying to put some of the feel of driving a car back into some of these cars where we've taken them out, really, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we're now onto some tarmac here, and what are we on? Second. So there's third, there's fourth, that's fifth. I mean, it really does. I got to be honest with you, it really does feel like a gear change. You know, I can't. You know. I think for all intents and purposes, that's a pretty damn good simulation, isn't it? So we're in fourth, that's third, and third immediately it picks up and off it goes. And the other thing they told me is that, well, what's happened to the regen? That's you do feel like you need to change up, because you can hear the engine note, you can feel the nature of the torque delivery, and you do naturally are inclined to change up. And sixth so far, I can go up to sixth gear. And one of the things they told me, I said to them, well, what happens to the regen? Well, obviously when you change down, then it is actually using the regen anyway. So that's one of the things that it's doing. So we're turning right here. Of course, we also have the little monitors on our instrument panel, which actually when you indicate, they come up and they show you what's on the right or on the left accordingly. So I'm just going to change down again. That's fourth, that's third, and actually the car slows. You can feel it pulling back. You can, oh look, that's cool. That was that the VW thing they call it, isn't it? The little old classic Jeep thing there. So there's a bit of a road there. We can put third gear, fourth, fifth, sixth, still going, accelerating well, so no issues whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, that's not a bad simulation. What do you reckon?
Very good. Really impressive, actually. From the passenger seat, it feels genuine.
Yeah, yeah. But would you use it? This is the question.
Not very often.
Yeah. You know what? I think I would. I think I would, but I'm just mad. So every now and then I think I'd be very tempted to go back into that and to use it, just because that's kind of cool, and I do like I like the sensation, I like the sound, I do like the artificial sound that accompanies it. But it's quite extraordinary. I think, did it change down to first then? Because I didn't change it to first, so it changed to first.
And it's holding it, yeah.
And it held first.
You're right. So it hasn't gone into auto mode. It stayed in manual.
It stayed in manual, but it changed down. Yeah. So it behaved like a gear shift, like a DCT gearbox would behave, basically. Yeah. Is what it's doing. That's quite extraordinary and actually quite clever. So anyway, there you go. There's the first impressions of driving the model 2023 GB60, as well as of course trying the rest of the model range and sampling some of the new tech and new technology that Genesis is bringing into its cars. They're doing some incredible work, and it's a very, very exciting time, especially if you like all of this new type of stuff that's coming into cars. It won't be long before we're going to be seeing AI managing some of these systems. But yeah, exciting times ahead. Let me know what you think of all this tech, which of it you would like, which of it you wouldn't like, which of it you would use. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Say bye, Massimo.
Bye bye.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.